The no HUD skull.
Black guy.
You should be able to
No,
see your
black
own.
guy is bashed a bit of
I
help.
can see.
Oh yeah, I can see my own.
Yeah, I can see my own.
Alright,
Now I can see Johan's.
let me erase that. Bad.
It didn't have a number on it, so you know.
Yep, but no.
But no.
I'll give you a hint. It's more than 10.
Yeah, you have more than me.
I have single digits.
I thought 10 was the minimum. What the hell?
Nope.
10's the minimum for humans.
No,
Yeah,
for
I'm
me.
not
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
You got that luxury class, Luke.
I'm a halfling,
I mean,
not a hobbit, you gremlin. Also,
Yeah, but
someone
you
didn't roll
guys are
for
more
their class
specialized.
because he's a puss.
Who didn't
No,
roll?
I wanted to try out the magic in this game.
So,
That's a reasonable reason, I think.
Negative. Beat him up.
Once I die, I'll roll.
Beat him up.
welcome to Karak Azgal, the Adventures of Dragon Crag. Earlier in the months, while traveling the lands of Altdorf and all the various mountain ranges far to the east, you would finally come upon a rumor, a merchant who was looking for mercenaries, many of which who had not taken up the offer, as some had seen it as a great danger, others didn't believe the rumor and didn't want to uproot from where they were. You taking the chance, and especially for the fact of good coin, and this person being willing to even pay for your escort, even if it were minor, of 10 gold crowns once you arrive at the destination, is still a rather good payday. The aforementioned man in question, very rotund merchant who's obviously with immense wealth and obviously shows it quite well with his pet bulldog Ferguson.
That man is fucking disgusting. Oh.
Does he have a hanky on his waist to wipe his
Half
face?
of the cake didn't make it to his mouth.
Get this off my screen. I'm gonna fucking vomit. I just ate. Oh.
Going by the name of David Galumpy.
Lumpy's right. Holy shit.
He has offered you a once-in-a-lifetime chance. An adventure that even you were scrutinizing at first whether or not be true, but you had heard whispers. The fact that this merchant seems to believe fully in that and has already had an expedition cart readied to one of the legendary peaks of the Dwarven Mountains of Karak Azgal. Had rumored that a dragon had recently been slain and that one of the peaks has finally been taken back. While speaking with him, he had mentioned that he had managed to procure, through his old ties with many of the Dwarven heritages and houses, that he has been given permission to make a minor guild house and to be allowed to have licensing privileges to enter into the Dwarven city as mentioned. He had told you that he would be happy to fund it, as you would be a mercenary band that would be expanding ever so, to delve deeper and deeper into this lost and forgotten Dwarven hold, known to be a previous gem mine of bountiful wealth and beautiful veins filled with the most precious and uncut raw gems. If not that, then the old Dwarven relics and treasuries that would still be there, lost to the depths and still sealed away. Obviously, taking the opportunity on this, and even just on the simple fact of escorting this man, even if you were to just immediately leave while at the Dwarven town, the 10 gold crowns were hard to pass up. And even the opportunity, the fact that he had mentioned that so long as you were still under contract with him and working with his guild at the Dwarven city, your room and food and drink would be free.
This is just Strad all over again.
How much money did this motherfucker have? Wow.
I mean, if he can afford cake,
If he's
probably
that
a lot.
fat.
Yeah, he's
well
eating
fed.
traveling cake.
Yeah, you don't get that fat and not have money.
Yeah.
Just some cake for the road.
I'd like 3 cakes for the road, please. Extra frosting.
Extra frosting. Gotta stay frosted.
Man loaded.
Oh yeah. This. So, especially for those who were curious or even searching around, you can roll me a gossip check if you like.
Yes.
Though the gossip check would be at a -20 for the current circumstances. Obviously, this is a rather hush situation, but especially for what this trading merchant knows, trying to confirm it solidly, but obviously see if you can't find any more info on it.
Can we do some player descriptions? I still don't know who was playing who.
In a moment.
Okay.
Failure.
Are we doing gossips?
Yes.
Yeah, -1.
Alright.
A -20 gossip check, which seems brutal.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Alright.
Failure.
Alrighty. So, aside from just kind of hushed whispers, the mention of Dragon Crag does not seem like many know about it, and even some of the dwarfs that you tried to speak with seem kind of tight-lipped about it, almost like there has been shame previously for the loss of the city, and it's much harder to get information about it. But obviously, taking this opportunity to take up David Galumpi on his, escort mission at this point, just to get to his Foundation base. As everyone does arrive before they head out to the east, you can go ahead and describe what you look like. Obviously, we'll start from the very top, moving down. So, 10.
Cool.
Okay. Mr. 10 stands at around 6'2". His hair is very ragged and styled as if he regularly cuts it himself with like a knife. He looks very unkempt. It is a dull gray color. He's dressed in a weathered leather. Oh my god, that's a good rhyme. Weathered leather overcoat with brown quilted sleeves. He has a mining helmet dangling around the back of his neck. His attire is stained a light gray and yellowish color around the edges, as if it will never ever wash out. And he's carrying a rather large pickaxe.
Alright.
Good.
Johan is a young adult man standing at 5'11". This human has red hair, which is pretty rare, and even rarer, pale grey eyes, which is pretty weird. And he's got just like normal traveler's clothes, and just like pouches and maybe a book strapped to his waist. I don't know, wizardy stuff.
Totally wizard.
He looks like a nerd.
Nerd!
Looks like he does look like a starry-eyed young adventurer looking to see the world before it comes crashing down. That hasn't happened yet.
Well, I'm Eva. I'll be your traveling bard, if you will. I'm here to keep you all happy and entertained with my magical loot of amazingness. I'm 46 years old, female, as you can tell from my voice. At the max height of my halfling of 4 feet, I weigh 85 pounds. My eyes are dark brown, and I have the also very rare red hair. I have
So rare.
with me
So rare.
my handy dandy little fucking magical violin, of which I will play you many a song. I have an axe and a sling if I need it.
Hi. I am Elfrida. I have blue eyes and very dark brown hair cut at the neck. Wear some old leather armor, carry around a large halberd strapped to my back. I'm gonna be honest, I never got past writing my name in the description section.
Neither did I.
Supervise.
Alright, good.
And-
That's you.
And look, the original reason for that was because my class requires you to either be a man or pretend to be a man to get into it.
What?
And so I was originally going to introduce myself as Alfred and went, what's the fucking point? I'm already in the class. It doesn't matter at this. It doesn't matter.
Wench!
Yeah, Milan outed herself as she already was a warrior, so you're good.
But,
Heresy.
Heresy of the highest order.
I'm 5'8". I'm a big, strong bitch.
Fuck me, I don't even come up to your goddamn waist. Jesus.
Oh yes, it's Uranus. Yeah, my name's Uranus. I'm your generic thug bitch. Got a fit build, age 24, also the height of 5.8. Light brown hair comes down to my shoulders. With light brown eyes, and I am wearing a nice male shirt. Yes. Don't fuck with me.
Good thing you're not wearing a female shirt. I'll kill myself, don't worry about it.
I expected as much.
what are you equipped with?
I have a sword, knuckle dusters, a dagger, and a sling.
Very cool.
Alright.
And I also like to party.
He doesn't like to party.
My name is Rod, and I like to party. No, I'm Rod.
No.
And I like to party.
Alright. And, well, Theo, we're hand waving. I have a good place for him in the river.
Dump him in the river!
Oh, no.
Oh no, not the calm river! Oh no! He's
Alright.
dead.
You are too cruel.
You've left a purple box behind. Angry.
There.
Alright,
Much
people.
better. Rest in peace, Bob. I just noticed the 69 on the door. God damn.
I at first thought that was part of it, and I was like, oh wait.
Sakes.
Alrighty. So, upon meeting up at the main carriage that David Gillespie has obviously procured all of the supplies, you can see that there are obviously fresh foods and rations for the road, along with his dog Ferguson sitting on his side at the main front of the carriage. Obviously, others who would like to drive, if they want, he will allow them.
I'll drive. I'm actually trained.
Oh, there you go.
Alright. So. I'm so happy all of you have joined me today. I was beginning to worry that I wouldn't have anyone to assist me on the road.
Oh.
Smile.
My good sir, you sound like you could use some water.
Ah, don't worry. I have another flask of whiskey. Also,
Yep, that'll do.
now stick to the main path going towards the east. I will be guiding you along the way. I've managed to procure a good map from my friend. He
You
is...
need to clear your throat.
What? What do you mean, my good woman?
Sounds like you have cake stuck in the back of your throat still.
Sure, I've swallowed quite thoroughly.
Yeah, you
Man,
look
you
like
just
a
had to
man who can swallow.
Right on, boss man.
Well, it'll be taking a few days to travel there, but obviously we'll be having the matter of paying to guards once we get there. There are heavy taxes and levies there once you arrive, but thankfully I've managed to procure some lighter trade with one of the main general stores there, so nothing is up-priced.
Interesting.
So, for anyone who's curious, you can roll me knowledge Reichland if you want to, just to see if you can kind of discern what he means by like up-priced, especially heading towards Dwarven lands.
All I have is Empire, so.
Yes, Empire as well.
I do believe I have it.
Ooh.
I think. I have a lot of common knowledge. Chaos
yeah,
Waste. Yeah, there it is. Reichspiel? No, that's speak that. I don't know it. I can only speak their language. Never mind.
Yeah.
I can speak West. Nice.
Let me.
I can speak Norse.
My bad. It is Empire. I'm reading Reichspiel.
Ah.
Forgive me. There's a lot to this module.
Get the gun.
Yes.
All good. Let us roll.
Oh my god. What?
Aha!
Hey!
I got
I
something.
did it.
Oh, Phil's on it.
Oh, exactly.
Hey!
Oh.
Our Alrighty, so, is it Aranis? Phil?
Aranus.
Aranis.
Aranus.
Uranus.
Aranis and Alfreda.
Aranus Athadu.
Yeah. Aranis and Alfreda. So, both of you know, especially from previous experience and a lot of people talking about the fact that it's harder to buy anything from dwarfs if it's dwarf make, and especially for the fact that they upcharge a lot of things because they guarantee their work, but obviously you would never be disappointed with the coin. Going to an entire city of that, it's easy to assume that everything there, if this man's managed to procure where he doesn't have to uppay all the taxes on it, it's probably going to be fairly brutal in that city once you get in there for the prices if you're not a dwarf. So,
Fuck.
this man, as far as you could tell, especially for what his connections are, obviously either has a debt that he's collecting from one of the families, or is obviously unappealing as he is that good of a trader and merchant that he's managed to procure one of these lines with one of the Dwarven families, as hard fucking headed as they are.
So as good as his job.
He is probably one of the best if he's able to do that. Dwarven traders are probably one of the hardest.
I mean, judging from the size of the dicks on this homepage, I don't blame him. Holy shit.
Stonefather. So.
Rock and stone. Cock and stone.
So, obviously, packing up, Tin, you heading out with the wagon as everyone jumps in. Go ahead and roll me a drive, and for the...
Oh, no. I didn't want it to come to this.
Drive.
Crash the car. Crash the car. Crash the
Just how
car.
we all die.
Ah.
Oh.
We died.
So, it's pretty hilly here, especially going to the peaks, and probably not used to it, but it is a bumpy ride for most of you. Ferguson, the dog, eventually kind of gets sick, and you just see David Golumpy's like, "Oh, there, my sweetie, please. Oh, right over the side. There you go. Daddy doesn't want to clean up any more messes today."
Crash
That's
the
reason why
car.
I'm sick.
Yeah. Being anywhere near this motherfucker, the dog's likely to throw up anyway. Jesus.
I'm worried about him eating the whole thing.
Oh,
So is this a pet or a snack for later?
It's an emergency ration.
Well, everyone always has, like, kimchi or something.
Did you say kimchi?
No, kimchi.
Are you gonna eat this? I thought you said kimchi. I was like, you're gonna eat this dog with some kimchi?
Yes.
Jeez.
I prefer my dogs with a little bit of salt.
If I don't eat at least every 5 hours, I have to eat the dog in desperation.
Someone hide his food. I want to see if he'll actually eat the dog.
What dog are you on now? How many dogs have you eaten?
This is
How
my
many dogs
fourth
have you consumed in your life?
today.
In 3 days.
Oh.
I loved the note change in fucking Nick's voice. Oh. Oh no. That's a lot of dogs.
Be careful, he'll recognize me as a dog.
Alrighty. So, especially heading on the road, if anyone, let's see, the first few days is fairly straightforward. It's still rough road, but it's not enough to really slow your trek too much, as the weather is thankfully remained clear, especially being this close to the mountains in the east. If anyone would like to roll me an outdoor survival, or kind of stick with the provisions that David Gillespie has provided, if you trust them.
My outdoor survival is the worst.
I'm
Never
gonna
let me do it.
Mine is probably worse than
let's
yours.
just sit in the cart and eat some cake, my dude.
Actually, no, it's based off of it.
He actually is sitting in the cart eating cake on the main initial days. He had like a picnic basket with like 3 cakes.
What flavor cake?
Well, first one was strawberry, because that way, a little bit of sweeter treat on the road. And then the other one seemed kind of like lemon pound cake.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
So,
Oh, lemon pancake sounds fucking great.
Lemon cake is
Oh.
in general. Hi.
Bruh.
alright. Oh, shit.
I'm not.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure if I rolled outdoor survival, I'd find some poisonous plant and eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm
we're all
good
at
at that.
outdoor survival.
Alrighty. So, with that, obviously just using the provisions that he has brought for the time are
Yeah.
not a big issue. Obviously, especially with the fact of the weather being so nice, you could see that David isn't even worried about putting the tarp over the top of the cart, and has basically kind of left it open air so everything can be, nice and breezy for the travel.
How much shit did Nick break driving the car?
You do hear a few creaks and groans here and there.
Good.
I have a 33% chance of
That's
success.
not the worst car ride I've ever been
Yeah, I
on.
mean, you got pretty close.
So go ahead and roll me another drive.
Yeah!
Better than one of us
that
driving, at least.
Crash that car!
100!
Oh,
So, especially getting used to this cart, you could tell that what seemed fairly rough road for a while, Tin finally got the wheels to set to the main grooves of the road for where it's been mainly traveled for the time. And it's actually very smooth. That everyone is actually able to just kind of sit back and relax for a time and just kind of pay attention as, some probably nod off as David continues to talk about all the various trade adventures that he has been on. Yes, that's actually how I got to spend a good amount of time in Bretonia, and I actually got to speak with one of the baronies there. I managed to get a good thread run going from there to the main capital.
Why, that is fascinating.
Oh, really?
I'm enthralled. Go on.
Meanwhile, you just see, like, this really big fleck of fluid that it's still stuck on his fucking lip.
Got to. Never mind.
So were they as polite as I always thought they'd be?
Oh, they were the most gracious host I have ever had. I've never been so pampered. They really, really know how to trade with various merchants and treat nobility over there. Yes, the most impressive.
Sorry, your conversation was so enthralling.
I can't sleep since I'm driving the cart, so I'm just talking.
This
around.
man can't sleep. I'm gonna have a nap.
Poor Tin's just stuck at the front like, God, fucking kill me, please.
Tin, keep him company
Why
while
did
I
I
sleep,
speak up that I
please.
had a license?
So,
I pull my skull cap over my eyes and have a nap.
understandable. It's a long road.
If any of you touch my violin, I'll have your balls.
So, she's having a sleep. Ferguson goes to, snuggle his bulldog for a moment. The bulldog eats the little piece off of his face there.
At least it's gone.
You start
God, I can't wait to be away from this man.
You're starting to see why he keeps the bulldog as like secondary napkin.
This man's caloric intake per day of his travel rations or cake must be like in the 4,000.
Well, it takes a lot to get this fat.
Especially in this day and age.
Like, in this age, getting that fat means you either have a fuckload of money or your caloric intake is like twice that of a human being.
That's true. So, on the main roads, especially, everything is going very nice for the time as you're getting closer to your destination, as Glumpy has mentioned before. You do see, as you round the bend, what seems to be quite the significant amount of brush piled up in the main center of the road. Which, let me reorganize people.
Alright, who dropped the tree?
I'm driving.
Ruh-roh.
I'm afraid that was probably me.
My nap! Why have you interrupted my sleep?
I'm well known for dropping trees in forests.
Before we got to the forest.
Do they
in
make a
question-
sound?
It
Did they
depends.
make it sound?
Is someone around to hear it?
No.
Well, then who's to say?
Used to say, because you're the ones that knocked down the tree, ain't you?
Eustace bag.
Oh, yeah, but I ran away really quickly,
That's fair.
so I didn't hear it either.
Right, Tin, can you drive around it in the forest a little bit?
I mean, the wagon's pretty heavily.
I don't
loaded.
think the
branch.
wagon should go into the woods. Also,
Yeah, what do you think?
why am I not on the wagon?
Yeah.
I dropped everyone in brick.
moving it.
There.
Well, you see,
all
you didn't
walking.
fit, so you've been walking this whole time.
Ah, well, I've been sleepwalking this entire time.
They just tied 2 ropes to a sleeping bag and have been dragging her behind them.
With a lot of us, I look over at Aranis. I'm just like, I'm sure we could probably just drag it out of the way or something.
We can always give it a go.
I'll come for emotional support.
I may not
Music
look it,
support?
but I am actually quite strong. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, you can also help.
I could, yes.
Every little bit counts.
You're right. I could help, you're right.
out of the cart.
The Lumpy
Stretch
is just sitting
arms
there,
and
like, rubbing the head of Ferguson. Like, who's a good dog? Who's a good dog?
Can't believe I'm
Alright.
gonna die by this.
Daddy, I'll be right back.
Time. Which side looks easier to pick up?
I'd say
probably
this
right side.
Alrighty.
It's
So,
right hand.
freeze there.
Fucking knew it.
Oh no, it was
Very obvious.
The very obvious road trap. Introductory combats. Hooray!
Oh no, there's gonna be bandits!
Never should have come here.
So, as you get closer, probably everyone's fucking worst nightmare in the situation, as behind the log, very poorly hidden, but kind of laid down as they jump up to fucking attack
oh
you.
my.
Cool.
And from the tree line as well, Gobbos!
Oh my god, it's Gobbos!
Yes!
Yeah, bro.
My. Ah,
So,
great. We got off the cart to get attacked by fucking Gobbos.
so don't mind that there are 2 on each token. Those tokens are just one.
Okay, so it's fine.
I just like the art.
It is good
Okay.
art.
It is pretty damn good.
I had to steal those clothes for myself. Those looking pretty fly.
Okay,
I want one of the goblins' hats.
in the little combat section of the sheet, should we put our wounds to current and fortune to current?
Yes.
I didn't even see that section. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Immediately as you get close to the log, the atypical trap. My God, these guys need to calm the fuck down already. Holy
Oh my-
fucking shit! Be glad that
A lot of
wasn't.
35.
Be very glad that was not damage dice, because that was 4 10s.
Shh. Fuck.
I told you,
Yeah.
man. Gobbers are gonna kill someone.
Even so, they still go last.
Fucking hell. So the very moment you get close, you just immediately as they quickly jump up with spears in hand. The ones near the log have spears and shields. The ones that I've marked with the target have bows at the tree line.
Oh, great. They've got bows!
Oh, fuck.
Who
Oh,
gave
yeah,
these little
good
shits
bow.
bows?
At that point, you could
Wow.
see David Glumpy immediately like, "Oh God! Oh no! I'll protect you, Ferguson!" As he like quickly throws like the tarp over both him and the fucking dog in the cart.
Jumps over the dog and squashes him.
Alrighty. So, first up, Eva.
Yeah. Thinking.
So,
Thinking.
yeah, you have, because basically since obviously, I'm not going to count this as an ambush because you walked up on them and they didn't take the chance to shoot you. But,
I might sling at this boy over here on this far right.
alright. So, you could take a half action aim, so you'd be able to add a +10 to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'll do that.
Alright.
So, just modifier +10.
Don't add the plus because it will accidentally turn it to a 0. Just
Yep.
type in 10 if it's positive.
Alright. Submit.
Oh.
Oh!
What a roll!
Roll damage.
Yep. Roll damage because projectile weapons cannot be dodged or blocked out of the air.
Oh.
A solid fucking 10 on this boy. Let me double check his armor.
My sling is mean, by the way, boys. Like, it's bad.
So, holy shit.
What a bud doing damage?
Eat it, you little gobshite!
So, with that, as he's like going to knock back the arrow, before he even gets the chance to fully like draw it back, you just and you hear like this almost sickening crunch as you can see this huge amount of blood start pouring down as it like just skirted right over his shoulder and just sank in.
Plenty more where that came from.
Ananias.
I can attack twice, can't I? Well, I remember.
So for the current circumstance, this is where things get a little bit fucky. To do that, you would need to take a swift action attack, which unfortunately is a full round, and you have to be next to someone.
Yeah.
But it does take half the move, which I know it seems devastating on a loss of action, but don't worry. Obviously, these guys are more of the demonstrational portion. So you could do a half action move, but still take a single attack, or especially.
It's not a half action for me to pull out a weapon because I've got lightning reflexes. Oh no, it's
No, I'm saying half action to
Quick
move
draw.
forward one step.
I'm sorry, I was answering Rosie. I've got a quick draw, so change weapons without action.
Oh, the quick draw.
All right, so I'm gonna run up here and jump on this log.
Yep.
Whip my sword out, and my dagger in the other hand, and swing my sword at this guy.
Alrighty, so with that, you just weapons section. You should be able to have that for clicking on your attack.
Sorry, was that so no modifier or?
No modifier because you don't have any gang up currently. It's just you versus this goblin. Alright, so you swing the sword, especially being at a much higher than you're used to, and the goblin only being literally around the 4 foot, 3 foot mark. He just quickly like ducks under and just like shuffling faster towards you now.
Wow.
Alright.
Guess that's all I can do.
Yep. Alright.
Oh Lord, he's shuffling.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna stab you in the ankles. Alfreda. You have an excellent opportunity to charge.
I would, but I have no weapon.
Which is true. I would say
could've
for this
got up.
that you guys had opportunity to pull your weapons out.
Alright.
Because they were not the stealthiest, and they did kind of jump up like a bunch of fucking gits.
They're fucking gobos. They're
Instead of
not
attacking, they were
stealthy.
like,
Yeah, we all
"Ha,
kind
we
of saw it
attack you."
coming.
Boo, bitch! And you're like, no, you stupid.
You're stupid.
You guys were laughing this whole time. We could hear you.
In that case, Halberd, just charge straight forward.
Alright.
Bonk.
Tripped over a log.
Don't forget your plus 10 for your charge. And are you attacking the one in front of Arnis?
No.
Alright, so it's just a 10.
Because it's actually a charge straight forward.
Yeah. That's true. They would not do.
So that would be... Fuck it. Yeah, let's do this one. 10.
Alright. So, same thing, just barely over the head as he quickly ducks you. As you can see, they're just now, like, at this point, snickering.
Knew I should have just gone for the punch.
Next time, brother. Next time.
Johan.
Yeah, goblins.
Yeah, this is bad.
Ugh. And a half action move to there.
Alright.
And then out of a bandolier across my chest, I pull out a dart and I yeet it.
Alrighty. Roll me that
Yeah,
dex.
Say it.
Say the word, Bart.
Magic dart!
Yeet.
No. No yeet
Negative.
for you.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Hard on your own foot.
Oh,
the magic seems to just not be dense enough in this area. The winds are hard to pick up.
You did a magic fart. It's because you didn't yell at yeet when you did that.
Alright. So, Tin.
Well, I was gonna say, can I have my short bow?
You would still have line of sight. You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't hit John because he's still. Yeah, you'd be
Okay.
able to shoot that boy.
That doesn't matter.
I remember Warhammer Fantasy was a little bit effy with the whole.
If they're directly in your line of sight, then you wouldn't be able to. So, like, if you're shooting straight up the line behind Alfredo, you wouldn't be able to, or Arnis. If you're shooting that gobbo, especially since you are off the side of John, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to be that restrictive with that.
I guess I'll half action aim and shoot at it with the short bow.
Alright. Hit you plus 10 and fire away.
Left leg.
Which, thankfully, I did almost forget that at the 10, but you nailed it anyway, so roll the damage. Because these guys do have shields, and that does give it minus 10, but you've made it. So, yeah. So shields and cover do matter. So, the arrow going flying by sinks into mainly the upper layer of flesh as you see a spurt of blood just cover across the dirt as he's looking wild-eyed and angry at you now.
Boom, got him.
Nice hit.
Boom, goblin.
Boom.
Yeah.
Goblin.
Alright. The nightmare begins.
Okay.
The goblin.
There's so many goblins. That's just fucking.
This man in the gobbo trees, while John's looking like a juicy target. So I'm sorry
to say that as David sits in the background, juicier.
He took cover underneath a tarp.
But he looked pretty fucking juicy.
That's true. That thick thighs and cakey face is extra sweet.
Target.
Goblins do like their lips.
Nut.
Alright, come on.
Half action aim at you, and then he's gonna fire the bow.
Do it!
Which hopefully this does not hit, because if it does, you cannot do anything about it. Okay. So that's the left arm.
Ow.
For 12 damage.
Oh! Oh!
What the fuck?
Oh!
I don't have shield.
I need to stay away from these goblins.
Before you reduce it by the full 12, check your body armor. You've got.
I don't have armor.
You have toughness. So, your tough. As you look at your armor stat, it shows the areas of your body where it reduces damage.
Oh, so it's just 3 on everything.
Yes. So you take that 12 and you reduce it by 3.
Okay. Only 9.
Yes. As an arrow sinks into your shoulder.
Only a 9.
As you
quit your whining!
As you guys see this sickening squelch of blood and hear just as it tears through John's arm. At that point, you just hear the gun.
Save that arrow, save it.
Right.
What the fuck?
That arrow's worth 5 pennies. Don't throw it away.
This guy is going to quickly jump up on Alfredo. And with the 3 stack, he's going to try and go. He's going to try and go for that spear.
Practice my stabbing, yeah.
So he gets a plus 20 for the gang up. Thankfully misses. This goblin, he's going to aim, so he'll get a plus 30 to try and hit Frida. Alright, misses as well. And this one, our niece had attacked, so he's gonna aim and stab at our niece, which is only a plus 10. Also, miss.
Oh my god.
This one, responding in kind to you, Eva, is gonna aim and fire her bow at you. And it will sink into your left leg for...
Why the leg?
5 damage. So, be sure to look at your armor value on your left leg. And... Alright, so you would only take 2 damage. So, basically...
You got strong leg.
Yeah, it skirts by your leg, cutting it open a little bit, but it's not a solid shot like you saw that Johan had been hit by. Alrighty, Eva.
Alright, well, this motherfucker wants to shoot at me. Guess what? I'm gonna shoot back, you son of a bitch. Fuck you.
Well, that's why he shot you, because you shot him.
Yeah, well, he's gonna get it back now, isn't he? So, Josh, do I have any modifiers to this? 10?
So for this half action, aim 10 again.
Yep. Okay, good. Fuck you, you little shit.
Alright, the range battle will continue there. You can see that goblin that you hit originally with the rock also is not looking very good. He's looking pretty scared as the rock goes flying by his head. And he's just kind of like nervously shifting at this point.
I remember being a thug, I could attack twice, but I don't see. I wrote that down anywhere. I'm trying to find it.
So it would be in your secondary profile. For that, especially now that you're within range, because obviously you would need to take a full round action, you could do a full round action swift attack. Both of those would be at plus 10 because you have gang up with Alfreda there.
Okay. So I would
click that twice.
Attack with sword and.
Yep. And then add a 10 to both of those as you roll it.
10. I don't have to write pluses, you can just write 10, right?
Yep, just 10.
Yeah, just write 10.
Yep, cool. Damn it. Well, try again.
Yep. There you go.
Hey.
So he will try to parry you, as he does have a shield. So,
with strike to injure, it says crit increases by 1. Do I have to get a crit for that, or can I?
Yeah.
I've already plugged it into your damage, so you see where it shows on the damage section of 1.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's automatically. So go ahead and roll damage as he tries to parry, and he's just not fast enough. You manage to get past his shield very quickly.
Nice.
All right, that's solid 12. So very, very fast. The first swing comes by. You can tell he's like ducking and trying to weave, and then you quickly just bring it backhand again, and he doesn't even raise his shield fast enough as you just slam it into his body, and and he hits the ground. Just see this sickly spray of blood just scatter across the trees as you literally tore open his chest.
Told you. Boss ass bitch, man. Don't mess with me.
Alrighty. Alfreda.
What kind of armor do these guys seem to have?
For that, it looks like they're all just wearing leather jerkins. Just leather chest armor, that's it.
Bunch of jerks.
The most that they have there are the spears and shields that seem to be the most of note.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna ready action to swap my halberd out for a shield.
Alright.
And then since currently I only have a shield, I'll just punch the guy on my left.
Alright, roll your unarmed.
Oh, you know Kung Fu, don't you?
Punch.
She got that.
Damn.
She got that thug life street fighting. Alright. So the goblin's just kind of like trying to ship you in the legs as you're coming down at him, especially at the height. It's a little off-putting. Johan, your fucking arm hurts.
First of all, ouch.
Yes, I will turn my attention to that archer goblin. I'm going to channel this time.
Alright.
Fuck.
Alright, so sadly no +1 for the channeling.
Yeah, a bit frustrated. I pick up another dart out of the bandolier. Yay!
You said it now.
There you go.
Hey!
So a hit.
Say the magical word, it's gonna
He
happen.
said the line! Say the line, bot!
Oh, fury damage as well.
So with that, nails him right in the arm. And he's sitting there kind of like bleeding now. You're both exchanging blows between both your left arms. So he's just looking at you super pissed off now. Ah!
Love it.
You motherfucker.
Tin.
Is he up in a tree at an angle that I could shoot over, Johan?
He's still on the ground. He took cover in the brush.
Oh, is the other one still in the tree?
For that one, he is in the tree. Yes, he is still having a shootout.
So I have a line of sight to him.
Yes, both of them. Or sorry, I didn't realize Johan.
Yeah, I have to shoot through Johan. That's why I was asking. Confused.
Sacrifice you're willing to take. I get it.
Oh, please.
You will die.
I'm learning magic.
Okay. Well, then I will shoot it this way.
Alright.
I will reload as a half action, and I will shoot as my other half action.
Alrighty.
Take cover!
Patwang.
Oh God! Oh, that man's just dead.
So,
He's fucking dead.
He's got his
especially as he's like, you can see he's fumbling with his arrow, and then right into his arm. Just, and you hear a sickening crunch as he smashes into the ground.
Nice shot.
Thank you.
Alrighty. He's gobbo. He's gonna half action reload.
Oh no, Johan.
Gosh,
Oh no.
It's gotta be Johan. Like, he
Johan!
can't shoot anyone else right now.
I T-pose in defiance.
Doesn't know where your body is through that cloak.
Alright, it goes
Straight
sailing past you, and Tin, you see an arrow go flying by you, so it's...
Hits the horse.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. It's ammo, it's ammo.
It's precious. Alright,
I have infinite ammo. That's not a problem for me.
alright. So,
Rock, yeah, I remember my
Rocks, baby.
uh,
Rock and stone.
this goblin, desperate, is going to all-out attack on you, Frida. So he's gonna get a plus 30.
He's going in.
He angry.
He's angry.
Just jumping up,
Say no. Frida, say no. Frida.
misses terribly as he swings the spear straight at you, and just you quickly see his main motive of attack and just sidestep him. This one is going to aim and strike at you with the spear. Which will hit your left arm, so you can try and parry that. It is a fast weapon, so it is a minus 10 to parry.
Minus 10.
Is your halberd slow?
That's my shield.
Parry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, you do. So, luckily,
That's not my shield.
yeah, thank God you did, because as you fucking...
I can't parry with the halberd.
That is true. Unless you took parrying stance. So,
I didn't.
thankfully, you switched out to your shield, as both of you see this one other goblin just start going apeshit, swinging wildly. The other one takes a more precise shot, and you can tell it's about to hit Elfrida, but she manages to smack it away with her shield. Eva.
Oh. Well, there's only one ranged boy.
Yes.
I guess I should introduce him to the fucking sling with the
That's a good
half
rock.
action aim and then, you know, the huge. Yeet. Oh!
Oh!
Headshot.
Oh!
Roll that damage. Alrighty, that is literally just enough as you see him like quickly grabbing another and like taking another aiming shot at Johan. You just right into his eye and just seizures onto the ground. His blood's pouring out of his face.
Well, the pen is mightier than the sword, but apparently the rock is mightier than the arrow. You bastard.
Par.
Alright. Underneath.
Alright.
So,
I'm gonna run up to this guy.
alright. So
And-
unfortunately half action for the move, but
Yep.
you still get
And-
the plus 10 because Elfrida is there.
Yeah. And swing. Fuck. 7.
I know you're
I
paying.
can't double that.
Alright. So quickly coming around, trying to swing at these guys. I can tell the frontline fighters here are being a bigger pain in the ass. Alfreda.
Let me just check some. I'm just checking something real quick. Okay. I would like to aim and attack the one above me.
Alright. That'd be plus 20. Because I gang up.
20?
Mm-hmm.
Just.
Oh,
Still just. Alrighty. So that little bastard right there is being the fucking Dodge Master from hell. Alright. Johan.
I will attempt another channel.
Missed by 2.
Oh,
Even with my highest possible bonus.
I love the D100. Just
Oh yeah, the fucking
yay!
the D100s are
Yay!
oh God!
so.
That one.
All right. Is there any particular color to your magic dart? Because obviously it is your magic.
It'll be blue.
All right. So out of nowhere, you see Frida from the side of your vision. Even until you see this build up, and you just see the smattering spray of blood after of this blue light just quickly as the leg gets blown off of this goblin. And he just, like, falls sideways as his leg's just fucking completely gone.
Do we
Nice
only know
shot.
how to hit the left leg?
Haha!
I hit him in the head.
Oh, actually, you did too.
Alright.
And in the arm.
10.
Okay, I'm gonna take my penance and waste a half action doing nothing because I shouldn't have been able to hit that goblin in the tree. I forgot the long range was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
So
saw
You got a sharp bow, right?
Yeah.
No, he was just in range.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I untake my penance. I drop my short bow and then pull out my pickaxe as a half action, and I will walk forward. I get 4 movement is 8 yards, right?
Yes, 4 squares.
Okay.
Basically, in the core stat section, it shows the crunch of that. So a move is 4, charge is 8 by squares.
Yeah, I was double checking the highlighted area. It's a little hard to read.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I have moved in.
Yeah, Gobbo.
This Gabo, well, he hasn't had much luck with freedom yet. So he's going to take his chances with the thug life. Gonna take an aim and stab at Adonis. And miss horribly as he's just swinging wildly.
It's my
He's
intimidation.
panic.
Eva. So,
Well, I can't exactly hit this gobbo from where I am with this sling.
sadly not. And shooting into melee, if you did have a shot, would be a -20 penalty.
Yeah. So I think I'll half action sling away and then just move to there.
Alright. Adonis.
I will double attack.
Yeah, get him, girl.
Get that swift attack plus
got it.
10s.
Plus 10. Alright, that's why we practice. Practice swing. These guys are short, I get it.
Fake
They
him out.
both practice swings.
Got a double fake him
Bro.
out.
Don't worry, man. That's honestly just Warhammer for you. So, this goblin's just fucking rolling around being a
Hey,
piece of
he's-
shit.
He's missing as
He's
well,
being a
so we're
goblin.
good.
He's being a fucking goblin. That's the best definition.
Surely we could also around just start kicking.
Aim. Come here.
Get him!
Oh, right in the chest.
He's gonna try and parry you. He'll try to slap your shit away.
Bitch, no.
You're just punching him.
That connects. Roll damage, or will you grapple him?
I'm grappling. He has to make an agility test.
Alright.
Oh. She wants to butt fuck the goblin. That's what's happening here.
So,
Go front row.
miraculously, being the little shit that he is, he rolls a 16 on his agility. So, manages to slip free.
Slippery little fucker.
Just
Kill him.
fucking dirt ball building up now as the storm continues. Johan.
Did not think it would get back to my turn.
Nope. I don't think we all.
Johan.
Alright, channel. God damn it. Throw it
No
at the dart.
channel.
No
No
chance.
channel. Not ever.
That's why willpower is so significant, bro.
12 damage.
Oh god.
Especially as he's like sitting there laughing as you just like grabbed onto his shirt and he like quickly shunted you away and slipped by. You just see this blue light again. Fucking falls backward onto his ass and just drops dead on the spot.
Nice shot.
Dodge that, you bastard. Ooh. Alright, do we have anything for arrow wounds?
Yeah, you got a bad one.
You also have an arrow in you.
Yeah, but I only took 2 damage from it.
Oh yeah, it only grazed your leg.
It scratched my leg, whereas yours
Just a fresh
very lodged in your leg.
It's still in
The leg is now an arrow.
What? You don't have a spell to pull the arrow out?
I'd check with the boss.
Wizard.
Just lean down and just start rifling to see if these gobbos have anything.
I want one of the goblins' hats if they have a hat.
They all have hats. They all have.
Just say you a hat.
Hold on. Let me drop one back on the map so you can see
I
it.
will commit Rob Arrow.
There. So obviously they do have the various hats.
Oh,
One with the
yes!
one with the crescent moon and one with the yellow checker pattern.
I want the crescent moon.
Alrighty.
Also, they're the same height as me, yeah, so it'll fit my fucking head.
Yeah.
It is true.
I'm gonna wear it.
Alright.
I want the one that I hit in the eye,
Oof.
so it's got some nice blood splatter all over it.
It's got that, the one side that's just like the perfect red drip going all the way down.
Yep.
Alright. So, scanning over the various gobos here, you could see that it looks like they have robbed probably maybe 1 or 2 people from the few pieces of equipment they have. You can tell that the swords on their hips is clearly from someone else. The remaining arrows that are there, there's 8 on one, 7 on the other.
Okay. I will take their arrows.
I'll grab their weapons and just put them in the cart once we're done.
So you would collect 3 spears. The shields aren't really worth much as they're kind of hapdash slapped together. But the other bigger prizes from what the goblins have aside from the spears is obviously the hand weapons, the swords that were clearly taken from someone else, as well as the other prizes that had been shooting people, which was the short bows. So very clearly clearly goblin design and heavily painted yellow.
How many swords?
3. Yep. The shields are basically worth nothing. So.
Well, that was a good scrap.
Alright. Since you're over here, Tin, you might as well help.
Let's move this log.
Alright, alright. Didn't figure the tall red one could do magic. I thought he was just, shy about wearing armor.
I mean, he's
David's,
good at
it
catching
is-
arrows.
David,
was
it's safe to
scholar.
come out.
Look at that. Look at the logs go away.
Well, we move fast, we do.
David,
Oh, you can see he's like about to faint, seeing your shoulder.
hey, have you got
Thanks for the
anything
help.
for arrow wounds?
I haven't been able to bring along a healer, but I did have a mercenary go ahead of that who'd be able to tend to that when we get there.
Alright, I'll just go with a tourniquet then. Eek.
Even though it's painful, you'd be able to snap the arrow and pull the haft of the arrow shaft out.
Owie.
That looks pretty nasty.
Thankfully, you are not in criticals.
I hope they didn't cover the arrowhead in something weird.
It's probably covered in shit.
Goblin shit.
After all.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm hoping they didn't do.
But yes, there are still the short bows, if anyone wants to take those, and then obviously the aforementioned 15 total arrows.
This is Warhammer. I'm taking the short bows with me.
Understood.
That's the money.
Alright.
Thank you for the help, David.
I've got one. Short bow.
Alright, lads, I just need about a week of rest, and then I'll be good to go.
Pretty much, thank
Yeah.
you. Thankfully, you're not in criticals.
Which arm was it? Left arm.
Left, I think.
Yeah.
I pat you gently on the left shoulder. You'll be alright.
Yep, thanks.
It's one of those
I'm
moments.
sure that you.
It's one of those moments where, like, if you tried, you could probably look through his arm. There's such a clean shot.
Yeah, you'll be alright.
I'd pat you on your leg, but I'm afraid I can't reach that far.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can lift it high enough to kick you between the legs, so you should be very careful.
Ooh, he's flexible.
Hey,
I said she.
hey,
I said, ooh, she's flexible.
triggered.
Right. So, obviously, with all that cleared from the road, Gillumby is obviously a tradesman, not a fighter. That's why he's hired you. You can see that very clearly.
Yeah. I mean, he's paying us really well. I can't really complain about him not helping.
So, for the rest of the day's travel, go ahead and roll me another drive.
You're gonna kill Luke with the bounce.
Yes.
Oh, please.
Prepare to
I
parrot.
this can make or break the story now.
My bounce is legendary.
Ah!
Oh my god,
Oh!
he's getting better. He's
You're
getting
such a
better.
driver.
So, like a professional carriage driver for one of the royal court, it is smoother than anything you've ever experienced for a carriage ride. Usually they're rough and bumpy. Tin managed to find this perfect groove along the road heading towards the peaks, and it's actually rather soothing. It's just like being softly rocked.
That's not bad at all. I could get used to this.
So, for the next 2 days, as you are getting closer to the peaks, everything becomes more mountainous. Traveling up the heavier ridges, and you can see that the forest and ranges are left behind, and there's not much to bear witness to. You start to see the massive city, and those who are injured, as the 2 days pass by, you'd recover 2 wounds because you're not critical.
Ha
Amazing.
I'm healed!
So, yeah.
I've
Would you look
stopped
at that,
bleeding.
wizard? Would you look at that? It's
I need-
gone!
Need another
Slaps my
tourniquet.
leg.
This one is soaked.
Bless you. Bless you again.
Gesundheit.
Bless.
So, as you approach the more fabled city that you had not seen or heard of before, of Karak Azgal, you see what looks to be a mighty fortress before you, surrounded by what seems kind of to be the main city hub at this pass. As you can see, David Galumpi is rather excited at the sight and prospect of this large dwarven city.
What's with all the dwarves with dicks? What the fuck is this artwork?
Shh. That's part of the history.
I see.
This must be the lost dwarven brothel.
Dwarf the culture is fascinating.
This must be the last
Probably better not to question them about it.
What are these rivers? I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
They say that's the pure
Not
essence
safe
of strong
drinking water.
dwarves.
It's
The
not
smell of
safe.
salt in the air.
So,
It's mana. Drink it, wizard.
It's mana. Drink it.
It will heal my wounds.
Don't swim in the river.
so.
And so the wizard died, drowning in semen.
As you approach the city, you can see that on either side of this immense pass, the ravine valley that you are traveling down into, it leads into the fabled city, as Glumpy can tell you, of Karak Azgal. Obviously, you tell that these roadways were difficult to travel at first. The roadway that has been built, which you are entering now, would be the Dragon Head Pass. As you approach this magnificent dwarven city, you can see the many guards and other races that have come here, various humans and the sort, even the occasional elf, even if you do see a dwarf spitting at the ground as he passes by. You can hear.
Can't blame him, knife-beard pricks a lot.
You could see that, especially with the excitement on David's face of why this regal city had been so well spoken of, especially with the heavy population of dwarfs and other kinds of races from all around the Reichland and the Empire, that seemingly have come to fill this place with teeming life once again. It's at this point that he would start to inform you that this is what has been come to be named as Skalf's Hold. What?
I'm sorry, I just saw it. Who did it? Own up now! Who made a dragon head ass? Who did it?
Surprisingly, not me.
God damn it. So, as he starts to tell you of the legendary warrior Skalf, he was one of the few dwarven nobles that had refused to give up on Karak Azgal's major city peak here and be able to take back the major home. He took a larger regiment and had returned to this location while the dragon was still dominant in the halls here. Not many had known that for a brief time, obviously only recently being opened but has been flooded now with the populace, that even though his regiment had attacked, Skalf had managed to survive fighting the dragon, being the last remaining soldier, and was able to fell the great beast. Thus, this entire city that's been built above Karak Azgal is dedicated to him. in his full honor and bringing back one of the greater peaks back into the fold of the dwarven families. You could see that there is tradesmen and craftsmen from all sorts of regions, especially for the dwarves, as you arrive at the front gate with your carriage. You can see that David Galumpy wastes no time in obviously being more prostrated towards the dwarfs in respect.
I've come around early. Brought the mercenaries that were going to be helping with the guild house.
As he takes out what seems to be a writ, I assume for, well, the one of the few that can read would recognize that it is definitely one of the more official sites that seem to be signed in multiple writs. One that you could see is definitely more of the Empire and kind of Reichsspiel written in the language. But you can also see that there are some that you don't recognize as Dwarven signatures in the agreement. So, obviously, after spending what seems like a great deal of time, and even some of the more heavily armored Dwarven guards that you could see more regally dressed with heavy onsets of steel and gold filigree covering their armor, the adornment on their helms with the beautiful gold wings pushing back, or even more of the heavier, more known iron breakers that have the solid and stout armor that seem almost unmoving in their position, just ever vigilant and keeping eyes on everything. You can see that one of the sergeants that is obviously maintaining the gate entrance obviously will quickly bring one of the books over. You can see the only reason why he's even paying any more attention to David Galumpy is literally the fact that he has this written agreement from a Dwarven lord. So that seems to be about the only saving grace in the time, as they still spend what seems to be an overly extended amount of time investigating your cart, making sure you can see David Galumpy's trying to, be relaxed, as there is one that seems to have almost like a checkboard as he's going around and writing down various things. Johan, I'm trying to remember if anyone else could read and write. I'm pretty sure Johan's the only one who could read and write right now.
I think it's Johan.
I can read and write in my second career, but I can't write now.
Alright.
I can punch people.
You can hold and give me a perception check if you like at a plus 30 if you want to see what this checkboard has kind of gotten, because it's in common for all the purposes of basically, like, Empire speak.
Oh, easy check. Still failed.
Oh,
Easy check.
Impressive.
It's one of those moments where, like, you go to look at it, but you kind of lean in a little too close, and the fucking the guard at the checkpoint who's like looking it over just kind of like looks at you and like does a little bit of like the shoulder shuffle away from you, like, get the fuck off me.
Ah, sorry.
Yeah. So.
You're not the sneakiest of men.
I'm just trying to read it.
So, after he finishes going down what seemed to be a large checklist, he goes over to David Galumpy, and his smile goes from that of kind of like jubilation to kind of a very sad and sour look, but he doesn't really argue it. With that, he goes to one of the chests that he's had on the cart the whole time, opens it up, and takes out what looks like one of the heavier purses that he has from his personage. You do see that the key that he keeps is kept on a necklace around his neck. But as he goes to take out the essential pay in situation, he takes out The fee of the entry toll, which is 10 silver a person, which he's paying in full for all of you.
Oof.
He is also paying the mule and also the tradesman fee of 10 silver per crate of items. Which at the same time, for each mule that he is bringing into the city, is paying an extra gold crown for each one.
Holy fuck!
This is robbery. What the
Fucking
fuck?
dwarves, man. Jeez.
This is worse than robbery. This is basically slavery.
Half your profit for existing, sir?
This is taxation without causation. The fuck?
You enter our city, you leave our city in rags.
So, at the same time as he takes out, obviously, all the gold for that. So and then himself for the same, that already adds up to the three gold crowns. They've 5 gold crowns as well because of the extra horses, and then another effectively total of 10 gold crowns for all these supply crates that he's brought along with him, as he's paying just to get into the city.
Oh.
So
It's a lucky you're a wealthy man. Holy shit.
there is a point, as you do say,
Oh, do not worry. Part of the trade, I'm very well used to it. I forgot the heavy rules of many of the dwarven families.
there is
Hope it's worth your time here, brother.
I believe in your skills and the aptitudes that I have hired you all for.
I hope you're right.
So, especially with that, you do see that there seems to be an elven party that has arrived. They look fairly cocksure of themselves, as you can hear the disgruntled exchange of just people are immediately just, what the fuck do you want, knife here? As they obviously go to procure entry, you hear they charge double for elves.
Jeez.
Bloody knife-eared pricks.
So, literally for every...
Charge them triple.
So literally for every single elf, not only are they thoroughly going through all of their stuff, they're double charging them for the supplies they are bringing in, and 1 gold crown per an elf.
Oh. I'm so glad none of us are fucking elves. Holy shit.
So, entering into the major city finally, as the dwarves finally give you the all heads to pass, they give David Gillespie what seems to be a written permission that all taxes are paid at the gate, as prominently done. With that, you can see that he does breathe a sigh of relief that there had been no other qualms or issues. But you can see also now why he had hired everyone but elves, as obviously he cleverly didn't want to pay extra.
What's an elf?
Did you know
gold?
about the elf tax before you got here?
I know anything dealing with the elves and the dwarves is usually going to cost more, even not be able to be permitted.
Jeez.
I assume you've been here before.
Only in the procuring of the establishment that I have been able to get.
With that, as you pass by at the main sector here, number 25, which I will share a handout with you guys real quick. Just so
Ooh, handout!
Newsletter.
This is my favorite bit about coming to a new town.
All the handouts.
gotta hit
All the stuff.
free shit. Alright.
I demand a handout.
I want a handout too.
Hold on. I had to refresh my page because Roll20 has been a high energy bitch of late.
Daddy, give me handout.
So, this will name everything in the city, as well as give you a view of the Grand Gate that you had entered in through the Dragonhead Pass.
That's pretty pog.
Which
Oh.
shows a brief design of Scalp's Hold of, obviously, what looks like the main head of a dragon with the wings spanned out front for the major walls, as well as the entrance gate, looking that of a dragon's maw.
I don't see any dicks.
I'm gonna take some
Berg, 2, Temple of Myrmidia. That's the spring I was supposed to die in.
You're not wrong.
Nice. Oh, it was Myrmidia.
See, that I did say it. I fucking forgot about it entirely myself.
I'll kill you in the spring if you
I'm
like.
pretty sure they're like a god of the ocean or
If you're gonna die, I'll drag you to the spring and. Alright?
So,
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
got you.
friends.
Don't worry.
Mine is bounty. Okay.
as you can see, that yes, that is one of the major guilds. So, as you pass by, number 5, Karak Azgal's barracks. As you can see, this major dwarven fortification, heavily armored. All of the side entrances to the main field where people are training or doing practice, you can see that is heavily barred and armored. Obviously, in preparation, if necessary, people would be able to take either shots or arrow volleys from there to be able to dissuade anyone if they did break the main gate. As you pass by this majestic towering barracks, it will lead you into the main center of the stone square, where all the guilds and the various merchants are traveling through, and even has a wealth of other merchants kind of set up on temporary areas for their carts and locations for where trade goods are going. Your housing would be in the foreign quarter.
Because we're foreigners.
Precisely.
Clever.
Obviously, this isn't the only extension of the city. As you are passing by, you do hear that seems to be brief muttering and discussions of the pit of blood that is to the Dead Gate at the Dragon's Tail of Skull's Fortress.
Okay.
Obviously, from the brief interlude of you passing by, you would hear that it is mention of a fighter's arena, almost some for to the death and others to make bets. So.
No thanks.
Time to fight to life.
I mean,
Fight to the life.
one of my previous party from another group did that. They didn't realize that it was to the death, and it was actually to the death, and he lost a leg. And he had to spend a fate point to not die.
Just for some money.
That's good
They
shit.
didn't even. Well, I mean, hey, that's a good life hack right there. Bet against yourself and use your fate point to survive death.
Coward.
Like to bet 300 gold crowns against myself.
Alrighty. So.
There is no way you'll come out of there alive to collect it. That's what you think, coward.
That's where you're wrong.
That's where you're a fucking punk ass bitch. So.
This seems like some sort of cheat. I don't think that'll be allowed.
Well, I mean, yeah, plus also we permanently maiming ourselves for
You
small.
know, it's worth the money. I'll
Plus
maim
also I
the
don't-
wizard for the money.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
There we go.
So.
I like you, wizard.
As David Gillespie heads to one of the main criers, as you do hear the various rules as people are announcing, as you can see what seems to be kind of the Dwarven Town criers in this circumstance. They are obviously yelling out the various rules and taxations that they have there, just so no one can argue it unless they want to go into the Book of Grudges. Obviously...
There's a constant coin tax law.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't want any shit. So
Grudge.
pretty much, obviously, there is treasure tax for going down into the holds below for retrieving the various precious treasured items, gems, and others down below. There are references as well to, well, the entry toll, which you've already witnessed, but also getting a runes license. You would have to pay for one going down each time, as well as there is even a death tax. So, where it would be upon...
Undying?
Yes, so 20% upon death, the law levies tax against anything that remains of non-dwarf estates.
Non-dwarf estates. Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Quite literally, yes. That's why I was
So if I
laughing.
was
That I thought at first that Jake had used this for his game.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
Similar.
There's also the yearly tithe, which thankfully you don't have to pay for because David Galumpy has already procured an establishment of where each year of owning this property in Karak Azgal, you must pay the tithe of the price to the Lord of the Hold, which is 15% of the property value.
Oh, 15!
This is going beyond highway robbery. This is space elevator robbery.
15%?
Per year.
What the fuck?
And now
Holy fuck.
now you know why I told you that this is a great opportunity. As much as he is a fat fuck, this is a good opportunity with a fat fuck.
Dwarves are bastards.
Oh yes.
Wonder how bad the elves are.
As for the aforementioned of the basic trade goods that I had mentioned, it does not apply to anything else like clothing, special equipment, or other. That thankfully you do not have to pay the percentage increase tax. Because unless you are a dwarf,
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you.
unless you are a dwarf, for trade goods alone, which that is a miracle that David Galumpy managed to barter this deal, that so long as his guild is purchasing from a specific dwarven family, which is not far from the foreign quarter, that you would not be taxed the usual 30% increase price on trade goods.
Oh, 30% increase.
Yes. So you can
Ow!
get basic trade goods and all that, thankfully, for normal price.
Jesus fucking wept.
This is like Disneyland. If Disneyland also wanted you to die living in it.
Precisely. So, on one of the more beneficial lines, as the various quarters, as you see, just in the brief description, the Holdfast is the guild quarter, where many of the dwarven families of greater respect are obviously in propriety. You can also see that one of the major keeps towards the center of the town, Skulf's Keep, is obviously where Skulf himself would preside, you assume, him and his family. Obviously, looking over the major sections of the town and the main causeways and roads. Even though he had defeated the dragon, you could tell that he still wanted to be predominant in being able to protect the dwarven families and the people who had come to the Great Peak. So, with this,
I mean, it's a nice city. Shame about the taxes.
Shit.
it's a fucking shame.
Shame about all the fires.
Guess that's why tourism isn't a thing in this world.
God
I
damn
mean,
it.
not here at least. Pilgrimages are a really big thing in the Warhammer universe, but you don't really have a reason to pilgrimage to this shithole.
Yeah, why the fuck would you pilgrimage? Go see the dicks on the wall outside.
Yeah,
Too many dicks.
it's a great wallet.
Cost everything you own.
So,
Who's been carving dicks?
heading south to the Fordham corner, passing the Area 19, as your building is not far from this main section, with this second one in here. But as you pass by the main center sections there, number 19, you would see a beautiful marble fountain sculpted in the shape of a dragon with tombstone steps leading up to it, where you could see built there to honor Skulf. The water comes out of the dragon's mouth and splashes down into a pool at its feet. Known originally as the Dragon Fountain, it has come to be known as the Babbling Fountain, after the demagogues and agitators who had used the spot to speak about issues of the day, from what you can see. As well as during these daylight hours, you could see that there seems to be still, at this point, 2 or more citizens that obviously have either situations to bring up or to kind of incur and alert people about. So it seems to be kind of like the main center of news on this square. So you can see that's why Glumpy had chosen this particular area. Also, upon arriving on the brief notice, he informs you that the black market warehouse is thankfully not far, so treasure and other things could be, well, paid for and expended more quickly, as he doesn't want to walk very far.
So,
Yeah, man
are
of
we
your
allowed to
stature.
carry weapons?
Yeah, I was,
Yes, you are definitely allowed to carry weapons. Obviously, since your lord has it right here, you would definitely only have to mention David Glumpke, which they would have on record, unless they ask you to wish to escort you to the proprietor, which is responsible for you.
God, I have a bad history of getting grabbed by guards and carried places I don't want to go. So, like, fucking goddamn it, it's gonna be the
I
children.
can't imagine it
all
would be
over.
too difficult to pick you up either.
Yeah, I'm pretty stocky.
You know, a big bull this time.
So,
halflings experience soft racism.
so
It's fucked up. I
Well,
feel
Yeah, 'cause
bullied.
it's soft.
I mean,
Fuck you.
you're such an amiable person. And immediately followed
Listen,
by the
you
fucking.
you can fucking talk shit when you grapple a goblin successfully. Alright?
So,
Alright, bring me a gobble.
I will. Find you one and you can grapple it.
arriving at your base,
It's a deal.
Deal.
uh,
I like this place.
this location
Holy shit.
is
Oh,
called.
here's this hole.
This place is called the Umgak Tavern, as it is. As it has been built by other people other than dwarves.
Fucking I'm all about it. Thank you. I'm so glad it's called that. This whooping is Umgak.
I recognize the bar layout though.
So, I mean, it's a good bar. But now there's 3 floors. Don't worry, there's only one bloodstain.
I feel like something happened here that I don't know about.
Don't worry, we can add to it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this bar was also used in Lestrana.
Probably. I like this tavern.
We used it
It's a good
good.
fall.
several times.
It's a good
Different
fallback.
things.
It's got alleyways and everything.
It's even got a well out back.
Oh no! This was the. Yeah, this was the Radiant Shield game. Not Radiant Shield. This was Lestrana. We ran outside to kill the person that freaking petrified sword woman was chasing down.
Oh, that?
Yeah, it was this bar because I remember running down the street on this.
That was
map.
like my arc, right?
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah.
So, upon arriving, Theo Zenner, halfling militiaman, is T-posing while drinking.
Brother!
How does he manage to do that? Is that a halfling thing?
It's a halfling thing.
Good.
Don't
I
want
like
to get
it.
into it.
Especially upon entering,
Interesting.
especially upon being allowed in, as Galumpki tells you to head on in, as he is going to get some of the other tradesmen workers to unload the rest of the cart.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Well, Theo, obviously being the aforementioned guard, I don't know what voice to give him, so I'll just give him something random. Ta-da. Jake did this to himself.
Make him hyper gay.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, how you
I'm a
doing?
soldier, but I'll
Yeah.
I want to see that bayonet you have between your legs.
Welcome to the tavern.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Let's
This
go
is
have
my
some
penis. I
fun!
play with it for fun.
Yeah, you guys ever been in the halfling navy?
So,
I'm a skald. We're not allowed on boats.
at that point, Theo recognizes that David Glumpy is obviously arrived and seeing it from outside and the various people unloading. Don't worry, they're just invisible.
Don't make me worry.
They're all rats. They're all rats.
Ghost.
So,
Skaven. He's got Skaven unloading the thing.
at this point, as you're entering in, he gives you a nod and kind of looks at your bandaged up shoulder you're on. You want me to look at that?
You know something about arrow wounds?
I might be able to fix you up a little better.
Oh, someone has to tell Jake he has to speak like this from now
Such
on.
kindness from a stranger. Who are you?
Theo Zenner. I'm one of the militiamen from the families from the. Now you could see that he has an actual rifle, well, firearm, strapped to his back as well.
Ah, you've got one of them fire sticks. Yes.
A real rifle.
Oh, yes, this is military standard.
You too are wizard.
Not a wizard, but a soldier.
Okay, Stitch.
No, it shoots metal balls. It isn't magic.
I mean, his magic isn't magic either. He's throwing a metal dart.
True.
So, success.
Why is it not golden healing?
Don't fucking look at me!
He's in
The
disguise.
goblin! The goblin has
the
healed us!
I found the
It's my
gobbo.
hat, dude. It's my fucking hat. Get him!
I found the gobbo. I'm grappling.
Holy shit.
Jake comes back. So why's my character dead? You were a goblin in disguise.
You're a night goblin, so Russie
fuck did he
grappled
do
you
to
and
my
you
arm?
died.
So, especially with that, it is painful at first because obviously he's cleaning out all the infected parts of your arm, the scab and pus and all that, and the nasty shit. And then he setting out a med kit. He quickly stitches over and makes sure that everything's kind of closed up properly, and then puts a good amount of poultice on it to make sure it's going to heal over. The poultice just kind of reeks very heavily and is a mixture kind of like almost like dung and herbs, but it actually does make your arm feel a little bit better, especially with everything stitched up properly.
Wow, is that guano?
Around here, the guano is probably one of the better choices.
I told you you'd be fine.
Yes, I think I will be fine. Amazing.
That's disgusting.
So, so from behind the bar, as this guy kind of sits up and like,
What?
Yeah.
I got that from a random name generator. And I'm like, I have to fucking use it.
Nice.
Yeah.
My name is Burkhard Schwarzenegger. I'm a robot from the future. Prepare to die.
My name is Burkhard Schwarzenegger. I'm basically gonna be taking care of you in the tavern when you're home. What do you want for a drink? Gonna
How
be
much
is,
is it going to cost us?
Have you got any dwarven ale for us to try?
I've got one cask of Bugman's. That's about the most that Glumpy's been able to afford, essentially. He points to the one cask in the corner.
I don't recommend drinking that.
But we're here, we might as well, you
I
know.
will not have any dwarven ale, thank
I'll
Shit's
just take
been too
whatever
strong.
ale's cheapest.
This could
Yeah,
be a
it's-
once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Well, you
Suit
can have
yourself.
it then. When you go blind, that's on you.
We got all sorts of kinds of ale. Obviously, and being in one of the major dwarven cities, it's flowing like water. So,
I will let you know if it causes blindness.
oh god. So, he will set out, obviously, various beers, all bottled, and just kind of quickly popping the corks out of them. They have a rather rich smell to them, kind of very hoppy and all that.
Oh, let me tell you, you made a bad choice.
But yes, you actually have time to finally sit down and get used to your home, choose your various rooms.
Ooh.
David Galumpy will come back in with Ferguson in tow. I'll park the carriage off to the side for now.
He drove his own carriage. Oof.
Up
that's
in the
good
stairs.
parallel.
I mean,
He
he
just
could have driven this whole
backed it.
time. You just decided to drive.
Wait, he reversed those horses.
Beautiful.
My god.
It's when you're trained in the drive skill, you can parallel park using a wagon. It's very impressive.
I see you've met Theo. That's good. He is the one that I have originally hired to watch over the establishment while I went out to get more able-bodied mercenaries like yourself.
So he's like a boy toy.
What?
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 I think you are assuming, Aradis.
Setting up Jake's new arc. Why?
I assure you I have no interest in, like, the cup and ball game. I'm not a child. I'm more interested in cake.
He's married to cake.
Right, well, is Theo coming with us then?
Yes, once I am able to procure one of the licenses for going down into the caves. I have to do with the various families, and each license that I found out originally is 5 gold crowns per entry. So, obviously, it's needless to say that when you go down there, I recommend taking some of the extra supplies that I have brought along, extra lamp oils, a few lanterns, as well as a couple of sacks to be able to strap together and bring back more larger loot piles if necessary. If you find one of the...
So you can see he, like, kind of dances his fingertips together, almost like he's getting hungry and excited at the same time. And just kind of drools a little bit.
If you find any of those delicious jewel veins, please take your time and make sure to mark down on the map. Well, if I say I'll be procuring one for you to right down as you go. Many of the sections underneath have not been fully charted yet. I know the first floor is quite well known and well guarded to a degree, but there are still situations at the very entrances still. The second floor has been, well, mined to a good degree, but I still think there might be some goodies there. So, if you really want the good treasure, the areas that I've managed to gather here. Talking like this is murder. Is the third floor, but the most precarious. That is where the veins sparkle like starlight on the walls, and the treasures left behind during the battles when the dragon originally came and the armies invaded following. That is where you'll find the most precious items.
You mentioned Jewel Vein?
Yes, that is why I was happy to get you, my good man. It is good to have a skilled miner to be able to help others. If you do find a good gem vein, bring back proof of that. We'll be able to procure a good mining contract with the rest, and even send most of you down for a heavier collection.
So you can stake claims if you find a bunch of gems down there.
Yes, but you have to be quick with the licensing. The others will be fast to lay claim to the particular veins that they find. Though the first floor has been, from many of the men of guild that I have spoken with, unfortunately barren since the dragon had been slain by Scarf and his mighty kindred. And obviously, if you wish to take leave, you do not have to stay at the Umgut Tavern. Quite a nice name, I don't know why they call it this. You could tell it, like,
This place is quite lovely.
you could tell, like, he has no concept at all of dwarven naming. But, if you wish to blow off steam, I would recommend that, there is the Blood Pit if you want to go do some betting with some of the money that I'm about to give you. But there is also a Blizzard game that I have heard about called Moot Darts at the Deadgate areas. So do keep your eyes on your purses. I've heard there's been some rather unscrupulous types outside the gate there. So, anyone can roll me Common Knowledge Empire if you'd like to try and understand or see if you know possibly what moot darts are.
Common knowledge.
Aye,
Holy shit!
we all know.
Oh my god!
Big fans of moot darts.
Everybody knows moot darts.
Yes.
Alrighty, so, a wonderful game that some of you have heard about. It is not very commonly done because it is still a fairly dangerous game. Moot darts, obviously made by halflings for fun, taken up quite heavily by dwarves. And Matt, you can roll Common Knowledge Empire if you want to see if you know about moot darts. Everyone else is passed.
We all seem to know.
Yeah,
Just
don't
pretend
train.
you do.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, some moot darts.
That's the game you play with the croquet mallet, right?
I mean, you could.
Don't have that.
Common Knowledge out, not the Empire?
Yeah,
You should
no.
have. Oh yeah, I think at character creation you had a different option you could take. You
Some
might
people
decide.
might not have it, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so, even you have not heard of that. But Moot Darts is originally, ironically, a halfling game. But has been taken up quite significantly up by the Empire and many dwarves. As it is a contestant tries to come up with an outlandish way to throw a dart, and his opponent has to match it. So it's like horse with darts, except you could be
tickled with a feather while you're trying to throw it, trying to throw while drinking an ale or something, even throw while trying to throw while drinking a bucket of vile water and other things, or even being tossed in the air repeatedly while trying to throw that, kind of like if you were on a sheet and like people are pulling and just kind of like throwing you up in the air like that. So, and somebody else has to match you, and it's usually a good betting game. People do get injured, but it's all in the name of good fun. But it is a interesting way to enjoy the pastime and make a few more bets. Let's see. The worst that you hear of anyone kind of getting hurt is if somebody gets hit directly in the eye or something. But that's usually in catastrophic situations. Other than that, the dart itself, usually the main center of the body, could be held aloft. Usually would fill your palm, and the point is kind of like that of a small ice pick or dagger. And that's effectively one of the darts. So
you don't want that in the eye.
So they're sizable. Like I said, the most catastrophic is like a dart in the eye.
Losing an eye is pretty bad.
But yeah,
I like my eyes.
yeah, it's good fun. So with that, especially upon arrival, as David Glomke is promised, he will take out the various payment banks, and as well for Theo for watching over the tavern and making sure that no one had gotten in here or basically besmirched anything or basically ruined the whole tavern. So you each get 10 gold crowns for successfully escorting David Gillespie in here, as well as Ferguson.
Yay.
You do see Ferguson, the dog, quickly go over to Burkhart, and gives him a quick pet, and will give him a slice of bacon that's just kind of been sitting there on the counter for some time.
That dog's gonna be as big as his master's.
Extra thick.
So, I do have a few questions for you, if you don't mind, before you quickly rush off to spend well-earned coin. There are certain sections that I have managed to procure information about from the first 2 floors. There is a larger section that seems to be besieged by goblins, aside from minor injuries, as he kind of does a little hand wave to Johan, but then quickly moves on. There are various entry points that we would have to procure a license, obviously, for the main entry and writ that I would have to give you. I was wondering if there was any that seemed to speak to you more preferably. Yes, there are a few from the Dead Gate that is just outside Scoff's Hold, but then there are the others that are a little more desirable. If you're going for the ones near the Dead Gates, it would be closer to, well, they say goblin territory below in the tunnels down underneath. But they are mostly unmapped for those areas. There's a good chance of fine prices to be found, especially if it is goblins, and that seems to be the worst of the situation for that. I don't see much issue since you dispatched those others quite easily, but I do know that there are warnings of larger creatures still wandering the tunnels. The other ones, if you're going beneath from Scoff's Hold, are, well, quite boring, but it would get you more quickly to the second levels. But from there, I've heard there are talk of greenskins being further down and not just the goblins.
greenskins.
Yes, more brutish types, I don't know. I've never seen them, thankfully. I have seen goblins quite a bit and beastmen, but thankfully none of the larger ilk, I think, I'd faint for fear. Oof. You can see. Very eerily pulls out, looks like a piece of shortbread. And just starts munching on the cookie, like, just to calm himself down a little bit.
Where does he keep all this food?
In his rolls, don't ask.
Oh,
So yes, obviously heading down from within Scott's Hold would be a little bit of a longer trek. You would have to move further down. Actually, let me share this with you. Or actually, let me double check. No, I'll have to make a secondary where these are covered over. But
One of these without all the locations of shit.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I can see over here there's Romrel armor in this corner. I think we'll go here first.
Let's go that way.
There is the longer trek from Scott's Hold, but obviously moving from the first and second floors are safer, as obviously it is well guarded by the Ironbreakers and the Scout's Guard, those who have been able to clear many of the first and second floor. And once you start moving down to the third floor, that is where the more precious items are, but obviously the second floor is still being fully cleared. I would say if you're not wanting to spend too much time traversing on foot, that you would go for one of the dead gate entrances, though I would be wary of more of the brigand type. Obviously it is not as heavily guarded.
So our choices are basically, number one, go down a short ride to hang out with some goblins that probably have a decent amount of stuff. It's just dangerous because there's a lot of people.
Yes, the brigands and goblins go like they breed quickly down there in the dark.
they do, don't they?
He just briefly becomes the darkest dungeon narrator.
Just gets like super gaunt and thin. Like, what the fuck?
Shadows on his face.
And then other than that, we can go down to the second floor, which hasn't been mostly cleared and probably has a lot of things left on it. And then the third floor would have the most left, but we're most likely to perish all of it.
Yes, it's the more dangerous section, but it would probably be the most bountiful in fortune. You know, many halls that are untouched, if you know what I mean.
Ow, fuck!
Don't play with the knives.
I kicked my bin. It was a mistake.
Don't know where that's been.
Ah! I'm gonna bottle you.
Bottle him.
I stick my thumb directly onto your freshly stitched shoulder.
No!
Oh,
Oh,
Oh!
Run!
Wow, you
Prepares the sling. Well, egg.
so take a little extra time walking. Maybe find a little extra treasure on the way, or go straight to the juicy bits, but still have a high-risk, high-octane situation for some.
So we could go through Goblin Town and have a chance of finding some decent shit, but not the super good shit. Or we can go straight down into green skin fuckhole land and have a pretty good chance of finding some really good stuff, but also a good chance of dying.
I think we should warm up with the goblins, and depending on how that goes, then maybe we can go to the third floor.
I agree. A single ambush is not exactly enough for us to get used to each other as a cohesive unit.
Because I think we need maybe more strategy.
Very well.
I mean, you could try wearing some armor. That might
Some
help.
formation. No, that gets in the way of the
Also,
weave.
maybe learn to channel before we set out once more.
Did the arrow in your shoulder also interrupt the magic? Out of curiosity.
Yes, definitely. It's
No, he's just a shitty wizard.
And they make you pay tax for the school they sent you to?
He has to pay 10 gold not to know how to charge
Oh,
up
fuck,
spells.
yeah, I need to.
Yeah, that
I need to write that down. Thanks for reminding me.
The wizard's just like gambling. It's like, why are you setting that money aside while you're gambling? Oh, those are taxes.
Meanwhile, while we're all talking, I'm just plucking at my violin. See?
Yeah, interesting violin.
And that sounded so realistic.
So,
And guitar like.
if going, you can see David Gillespie is rather happy to hear that you're willing to go to the Goblin territories, because obviously they still give issue, but the fact that you're more eager to get straight into the thick of it and have a little bit of risk for a good reward obviously puts a good amount of faith, and you can see his eyes kind of sparkle with the interest of what you guys might find down there.
Okay.
So, of course I will go and make sure to get the proper license so you will not be harassed by the various guards there. The way down from the Dead Gate is the Ice Maiden Casino. Obviously, once you bring the wit there, they will allow you down to the first level. I heard there is a not far distance travel to get to the second floor quickly.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Alright.
Works for me.
So, with that, he will look a little bit with a sigh as he goes to walk out the door, and he has to do the one thing he hates most, is walking.
Oh no.
Just take some cake for the road.
He pulls out another shortbread.
He's taken the talent hidden bread. He can hide food.
He's got extra pocket.
Yeah, bread pockets.
He's a fast one for a fat guy, I tell you that much. Go.
And the more cakes and cookies he eat, the faster he runs. Careful if he goes by a bakery.
Did he take the dog with him?
Yes, Ferguson goes with him everywhere.
Damn it, I wanted to pat the dog.
I'm sure you could have pet the
Dog
dog.
loves you.
He would have stopped you.
I wanted to pat the dog now that the fat man wasn't here.
He's gone.
Alright. So with that, Burkhard Schwarzenegger. You can go up to your rooms and choose which ones you want. He sounds like he's from Kislev.
Oh. I wonder if he's a robot from the future.
No! I'm a cybernetic organism.
Oh,
What's the accent, my friend?
I'm from Kislev.
Yeah.
Right.
So, obviously, be up to choose what rooms you like.
Bam.
It seems like... Oh, there's 3 floors. Never mind.
Yes, it's deceiving because it still continues up, but they break off at points.
I call this a lonely room over here.
I love the blood stain in the room next to Tin.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping in
Another
that
heater.
room.
I'll
Fuck
take
that.
the heater.
Yeah. You can see, especially for that one, that stove alone, as it is so nice and toasty warm, is actually hot enough to heat the whole floor in there.
That's quite hot.
Yeah, enjoy the fucking sweat box.
Oh, that's
2 girls in this room.
Scared
I
mad.
get I get 2 beds.
And your own table.
I drag the 2 beds near each other.
All right. So, especially with that, you do see there are obviously the various store closets here that have the supplies already loaded up into it. 10, you can see that there is even extra supplies within the closet there. It looks like a lot of the bulk items between lanterns, oil, and other things, you can see that David is obviously expecting to get more hires and mercenaries to come and join the Umgak Tavern.
Yeah, so considering the next door room is full of a shit ton of beds upstairs, so he's looking for some bulk.
So, obviously down the line, they'll be expecting others to accompany you, which, yes, they will go with you at the same time for bigger party and provision, but also protection. So, he is not expecting to constantly send you guys down there with the small party of 6, as obviously Theo will be accompanying you now that he is here to, air quote, watch over the Umgak Tavern. You can tell that Burkhard Schwarzenegger is, even though he is a tavern keeper, you can tell that he is a fucking tower of a man at fucking 7'9".
Damn.
And he has the muscles to match, as far as you can tell that
And
most
Theo's
people.
there to go after him.
Theo's there to shoot people. At the same time, usually you've seen people kind of like roll barrels and all that. Every time he's handled a barrel from the time that you were down there at the brief description, he was carrying it. Like full barrels with all the beer and everything inside of it still.
Mans is a titan.
Yes. Yes. Quite the disgusting strength score.
Love how squished Theo looked.
Well, because he is. It's the rifle stock.
He's a little halfling.
Well, I mean,
Where's his neck?
if it wasn't so long, it would be fine, but it's trying to squish it down to fit onto a token.
It's hidden behind that big scarf.
It really looks like they.
Very powerful chin.
Daddy, can I wear your armor and carry around your gun? Yeah, sure, son, whatever.
Don't scratch it.
Alrighty. So, obviously, as you start to unpack your various things that you've collected from the cart and set them down, you can easily start getting used to your much more cushier accommodations, as even though this place is called the Umgak Tavern, they are still feather beds. You can tell that David Galumpi Galumpin is obviously spared no expense, even though some of these things look rather beaten up. They are still very nice comparatively. They're not, some muddy shithole that you would have to share a room. And the fact that obviously paying for mercenaries to have close to their own room, a little bit of shared, but a good amount of space is obviously speaking volumes in his confidence in his decision in hiring you and the people he's brought along for this job.
Well, the fucking Alfreda didn't want to bum up with Aranis. She could have had her own room.
Well, that room has a heater. That's a really good reason to bum up with somebody.
The heater does the whole floor.
It is true.
No, the door's shut.
Those pellets.
Yeah, not if we
Yes,
shut the door.
door's shut. There's gaps under the door, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have that little bit of heat. That's fine. Just a little
Yeah,
bit.
it does the whole floor. I don't want to sleep in a room with a giant oven in it. That sounds
Yeah.
fucking awful.
Have fun not being able to turn that off.
Yeah. Enjoy listening to.
So,
I don't know, sounds pleasant to me.
obviously,
You're insane, you.
you are able to get comfortable and rest up for the rest of the night, and you can smell that Burkhard Schwarzenegger is obviously cooking at the same time.
His fucking name. I love that it was randomized.
It's just like, I gotta use it. And I looked at it, I'm like, that's beautiful.
It's
Work
gonna
hard,
make
work
Matt
home.
fucking giggle every single time he says it. Hell yeah.
So,
Bloody Schwarzenegger.
eventually you will hear Galumpy as returns home.
Fat ass.
Very,
Comes back into the
a
house.
very heavy, just. Oh, God.
Is there a sword on the table in Nick's room? Jesus.
Very,
Free sword.
very likely.
Free sword.
No, so this is one of the only rooms with only one bed in it, so nobody can make me share.
I'm just
Feel
gonna
like
lock my
that's-
door and put the table up against it when I go to sleep.
I feel like that's Mr. Schwarzenegger's room that you've taken.
Yeah.
Point, actually, I don't know where he's sleeping. Is this
Or
actually?
David's room.
It's probably that one.
Where's David sleep?
It's probably Fat Ass's room.
It's true.
I'd like to throw myself out of the window as if.
You hear him come on home. It's easy to assume that this might be David Galumpy's room. I mean, it's the only.
Stay in it and see what he does.
Oh, rebunking, are we?
I don't want to find out. In
It just
fact,
comes out, starts eating your leg.
Hey guys, I'm back to your floor. I'm just sleeping here.
Oh, you
Yeah,
don't
right.
like the beds up there?
No, that was David's room.
How could you tell?
I could smell the cake.
You see
Crumbs
cakes.
everywhere.
Cakes are everywhere.
Hello. There was cakes in the closet. There was short.
Picks up the sword. It's just a black licorice lollipop.
It like wibbles. It's like
Delicious.
black licorice lollipop. Man, I hate this man even more now.
So there is eventually a point as David is now sitting down. Theo is still keeping watch before he finally goes to head upstairs. You hear not far behind Theo's feet is Ferguson.
Ferguson, the best
God.
boy.
You know which room is Theo sleeping in?
Let's see.
My door's locked.
All right, so D2. 10.
The demon has entered my room.
All right.
Hello.
How's it going?
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
He'll pet Ferguson and kind of just make sure he doesn't wiggle in and close the door. You can hear Ferguson walk up and down, but Ferguson will kind of take watch at the supply closet door and just kind of lay down here.
I unlock my door now that Theo has chosen his bedroom.
You can,
I suggest you leave. Also, there's only one bed in here. I've moved the beds together.
I drag the bed back and I drag it into my room. Goodbye.
No, you can't. The beds are already together, and I'm
Banished
sitting on
kingdom.
them.
What if I push my Minecraft bed next to yours?
Well, I call you a whore,
Oh,
Just kidding.
unless.
Oh my god.
Nay, prithee deleteth it. Last.
Last.
pretty. Be careful.
Really be careful. Neither of us want to see you go.
Neither of us want to see you go hollow, boy.
Neither of us want to see you come.
Mr. Frodo.
Mr. Frodo.
My dick fell off.
Act like I ain't no more. So, with that, do you open your door, Reba? Woo! Ferguson.
Ferguson!
You made
It's
a
the
doge.
good boy. Yeah, he's allowed in. Ferguson.
Hey!
I thought
I
David
can't wait
was
to
gonna
find
come
out
in
if
and be like,
Ferguson's a druid.
"Hey there, pretty lady."
Get out of my room. 10.
No, that was David coming.
I pat Ferguson.
You can just hear the bulldog just very happy, just
Please do not drool on me.
like looks at you with the big doe eyes and just kind of lays down.
You can stay. You, 10, cannot stay. Get out of my room.
I'm not in your
Yeah, on my screen you are still in his room, but on Josh's
You're still
screen,
here for me.
He's
There we go. He's
Oh,
moving
yeah.
now.
The fucking roll
There we
20.
go. It's just fucking teleported through a wall.
That is
What a
my
witch.
power.
You were still on that other bed in here for me. You were just like sat there. And I'm like, are you gonna fucking leave or?
Yeah, I was saying that too.
It's okay, though. I had left like a long time ago.
yeah, that's when you moved, but I looked back over, I was like, it's still there.
You're just looking at 10, he gives you the peace symbol and fades out. Just
He does the. Yeah, he just fades.
The old Niles and
I
Niles.
like how you ran it, yeah, but not the wizard.
I have more magic than you will
God
ever
damn it.
know.
So I put my staffs on the other bed.
There is nothing you can't possess.
never. All right. So, especially with everyone getting set up and hearing the nightlife, basically, of Karak Azgal, and hearing the occasional march of heavily suited armored dwarfs patrolling the streets at night, you can tell that even though this is the foreign quarter, they still make sure to keep an ever vigilant eye and make sure that order is respected within the dwarven cities. But you are able to get a peaceful rest. With
that kind
Oh,
of
no.
tax dollar income, they better have good guards.
Oh yeah, no. Hearing the regiments of dwarfs walking and patrolling through is almost frightening of how well organized they are. It's basically makes like every human, halfling, and other city in between look lackadaisical and lazy. Even their guards, while marching around, even in the regiment of 5 with the 4 at the back, are still perfect order, walking in synchronicity, and just the heavy clang of armor as they march through. So, at this point, in the midst of the night, you can tell that David Galumping is not too worried where Ferguson had gone, as you hear him.
I'd take the view.
And he slowly makes his way to the 3rd floor, in which you guessed correctly. It is David Galumpy's room.
I knew it. I saw the shortbread in the drawers.
Who has touched my shortbread?
I'll eat them for the failure to respect my shortbread.
It doesn't taste that good.
It turns around and just unhinges jaw and swallows you where you stand. You don't even. He doesn't even fucking. He wouldn't even swallow you from top down. Literally just wide as you are tall. Just,
It reminds me of the hippo guy from One Piece.
oh Christ!
I don't want to know about any hippo men performing a vor, okay?
So, obviously, everyone beds down, gets a nice rest, and then come early morning, you can smell breakfast is being cooked. Obviously, everything in a much more heavier, kind of richer tone. You could smell what seems kind of like figs, bacon, and even kind of just like the waft of fresh beer that's been untapped and cork kind of being set out as Burkhard Schwarzenegger bakes breakfast in the morning. You can hear the heavy thuds of David Galumpy as he starts coming down the stairs much more easily. The stairs groan and creak underneath the pressure of his immense wealth.
Has it filled wizard veils are sleeping right above you?
It leaks through the floorboards.
Whenever he farts, you can hear it and it can cough in his drum.
I'll sleep on this bed from now on.
Man, imagine picturing that. Whenever this man rips a hot fart, you can hear it echo through your roof. So, obviously here, David Glumpy is happily eating breakfast.
Should we go down there before it's all gone?
Well, I know
That's
Matt.
probably a good idea.
I know Matt is probably away, but as you guys go to pass by while Eva's asleep, you can hear Ferguson scratching at the door.
I will try to open the door.
Well, I don't think he said he relocked it, so I'm sure that he would be let out. As you see Ferguson quickly pushing past the big dopey smile as he got to snuggle in a warm bed, quickly running down to get breakfast.
Go fast, dog. Before your master eats all the food.
You just see the big dopey smile as Ferguson goes around the corner. You can tell that Glumpy probably spent a little bit of time as he just immediately goes over to Burkhard and immediately gets a nice big bowl of meat scraps that have been cooked up, kind of like the thicker chunks of fat that have just kind of been cooked up in some gristle that wouldn't be really desirable to eat. So, as you are served up a rather hearty breakfast, you can tell that it is definitely more dwarven in nature, even the heavier stone bread that you would swear could probably shatter a normal person's teeth if it wasn't being soaked in dwarven ale.
Stone bread.
Ah, dwarf bread.
As you could see, when Burkhard takes it out, he takes out the stone bread and sets it in a bowl and actually pours out a whole beer onto the bread to make it soft again. Makes it kind of like pumpernickel, except just like a little bit of kind of the ale soaking in, so it's like a double bread breakfast with the meat on the side. But you could tell that when he did pick it up, it was probably like harder than a fucking puck at that point.
I had food.
Yeah. You could see Ferguson's over in the corner eating the scraps of meat that were, well, not really worth serving to people, as they are obviously the leftover like pork rind fat and other things like that, but still having a good breakfast. Even a little bit of the cooked up potato skins and things. But I was just...
Dogs should not eat potato skins.
He's eating it anyway. But you do see that, as I was describing from Burkhard Schwarzenegger, has set out the stone bread that he pours beer over in a bowl, so it actually softens up again and tastes a little rich like the beer itself. The double breakfast, kind of more of like a rye or pumpernickel kind of richness now that it's softened up again. And Theo will come down after getting all of his equipment on and the full respectable regiment.
You got all of your armor back on to come downstairs and have breakfast.
Yeah, they got a problem.
That seems very excessive, my good sir.
Always have to be prepared.
Prepared for what?
Anything.
Breakfast.
Gobos.
Exactly.
Well, apparently there are...
Breakfast gobos.
They might come out of the shutter. He runs in there and stabs his bayonet into the toilet.
See, I want to sit in this chair, but I can't.
Just hold Alt.
Well, there's
Hold Alt. You can
brigands around the dead gate. They could be here.
If you hold Alt while dragging your token, you betray the grid.
There.
Fuck you, Grid.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Alright.
Betray the grid.
Fuck you.
Isildur.
You're the chosen grid.
Cast me into the fire.
So,
I want to go in a fur.
chucks into fire anyway.
Ah!
At that point, as David Lumpy is eating his breakfast, he turns around. You can see the dribble of bacon grease down his double chin.
Oh my god.
That is so gross, dude. He's so gross.
Goes to reach into one of his pouches and pulls out the writ for the Ice Maiden Casino entry.
Who's gonna get more food?
Yes, I have managed to procure the license from the other day. It was quite the incipient walk, but you would be heading out of the western gate of the Dragon Tail and heading further out into the fields towards the Ice-Maiden Casino. If you show them this, they will bring you straight to the entrance, no problem. It's duly noted if you manage to find your way lost or traveling to a deeper section of the tunnels. Anything that brings you to the surface, you would be able to show them the writ, and any exits would be applicable.
And this will work multiple times? Not a single-use thing?
You can only go down with it once. I would have to purchase another writ and license, so do make it count,
How
please.
much was the writ?
5 court crowns.
5?
Yes.
Jesus.
It pains my soul too, sir. Or madam.
Holy shit. Sir!
Sir, madam.
Better watch
We will make sure to return with something that makes it all worth it.
Yes, please. And also, please be sure to make very well use of the stocked closets. I have spare lanterns and oil in there, along with plenty of sacks and backpacks for the rest of you. Even a little bit of rope. I know that the stairwells may not be in, well, the best of shape since some of the creatures I have heard about. I do not know the sections where they had fought the dragon, but I know some of the, well, fortified dwarven structures have been damaged.
Dwarf comes storming, and that's going in the book, Karak.
No, please, I swear! I wasn't talking shit!
Well, I'm going to help myself to some rope.
Yeah, rope and lamp.
So if you do not have it, go ahead and mark down a lantern for yourselves, which you can tie to your belt. And be sure to definitely at least take 1 flask of oil, as they do not last too long.
They last like 4 hours each.
Yes. You also do take note that there are not huge, but small bundles of wood for fires for when you go down.
Camping bundles for our darkest dungeon run.
You're goddamn right, son. You gotta make going down there count.
Alright, and what about the rope?
The ropes are there, so obviously you can mark down the various ropes that you would take, either 10-yard length or more.
I'm bringing 40 yards of rope.
Jeez. I'll bring 20.
Alrighty.
Rope is very important. Like, it will save your life.
Rope is life.
These are juices.
I've grabbed 2 flasks of oil.
I have 3.
You do see that there is literally like a crate of lamp oil flasks there.
In that case, I'm bringing 4.
So
Fuck that.
it seems to be about 40 bottles of lamp oil there.
Oh, that's
a lot of
plenty.
oil. I don't think we should take all 40 in one trip.
No.
That's a good way to
I need a
suicide.
lot of oil.
Oh, your bag catches on fire?
Goodbye.
Bang!
And I thought the wizard's fireball was big. Jesus. That's the point where you just see them launching through the tunnel like a fucking jetpack.
Yikes.
Speed run!
You cannot escape.
You are not.
So.
It's gonna be sad to lose the music that's in this fucking tavern.
It's the super vibe. I can send it to you if you want.
I just don't want to go into the mine right now. I just want to sit.
Yeah,
Oh, it's GoPro time.
Aren't we gonna stop?
You're right,
before
I
we
have
actually
to
get
go.
to real combat.
I have to get a fucking gobbo for Rosie.
Exactly.
I mean, we also have the faster upbeat version too.
Yeah.
So, obviously, with all of this planned out, you can see as David Glumpy is dabbing his forehead with a towel from eating so much that he's now sweating.
I hate him. I hate him.
Obviously, being sure to take various supplies and other items, even rations, as recommended by David Glumpy, is if you spend a day or two down there if necessary. Would be recommended for some if you're doing an extended expedition, or if you do somehow, as you can tell by the starlight in his eyes in a way, hopes that you find a gem vein that you would take time to mine out and bring back.
There's only one person amongst us who can actually do that.
Hi.
It is true, but at the same time, the raw gem veins that you would be able to bring back would most definitely pay out for the license rate and give you a nice bonus. So, with that, obviously, as he lets you have your breakfast, and Theo will lead the way to the Dead Gate at the western end of town, the Dragon's Tail. Bump over to the Dead Gate Fields.
Ew.
So this would be outside Skulf's Hope.
Oh. Alright.
Where this is where you can see a lot of humans and other various races like elves have set up shop.
Ah,
Oh,
the
great.
Nike.
Knife is.
So with that, the Dead Gate, in which now I could show you the beautiful moot dart board. As this at the Appleberry Tavern is where you would play moot darts if you want. Number two.
Nice.
Number two is the Pit of Blood, where obviously is the aforementioned, the very large Colosseum area that looks like an easily house about 600 people that go to watch various fights. But there is also the very large and unfortunate graveyard, along with the Wall of Heroes, an area where people have been marked out for exploring the tunnels, finding dwarven treasures, or have even been lost in the assault on the dragon. Obviously, there are the other various selections of Siegfried's Arms and Armor, as well as the Birdcage Theater, the Cult of Renald. But for where you're going is the Ice Maiden Casino. So that would be further out, as it's one of the more rare, larger buildings, closer to kind of the moors kind of a situation. It's one of the few rare tunnels that have been allowed by humans that they had found originally in a hillside that you would find out, and have managed to dig it out to get into the secret entrance that they had found, and have been obviously told by the various dwarfs that they better not start any shit, but obviously the less desirables obviously come out here and is not well as patrolled. He's just like the...
I'm just imagining a dwarf grudge bearer, like, turning around going, "You better not start any shit! Fucking swear to God!" Just the humans are like, "Okay, sorry."
He's just like the book out and he's ready to write in it.
He's got a quill. It's like Drippy. He's like, "Just fucking do it. Push me.
Give me
I
a
dare
fucking
you."
reason, bitch.
Give me a reason.
Alrighty.
You made not be an elf, but you'll die like one.
You may not be a elf, but you're gonna be a fucking corpse in a second.
You're gonna be a corpse. I promise you that.
Alrighty.
Nobody will find your body when I'm done with it.
So, a brief description of the Ice Maiden's gambling hall. You can see that there are a large amount of traffic, as well as a fenced-in yard. It is a 2-story building with a load of gambling halls for various fun. As you can see that the hostel depicts what seems to be a beautiful woman and with long black hair encased in a block of ice for the sign that's mounted on the roof. Along with the more visible sections that you can see of the gambling hall that seems to take up about 50 feet floor-wise for each floor, as along with what seems to be a larger entrance at the other side that is more heavily guarded, but looks like to be thug types that would be kind of guarding the main entrance there. That's barred off still, but you can see that the architecture is still dwarven in kind. You can see that there's dice, cards, roulette as one of the most prominent, as well as the bookmaker, who is obviously taking various bets from the corner, and it's also a pit fighter bet preemptive. So obviously a lot of the pit fighter betting is going on here at the Ice Maiden. And you can see one of the larger attractions for the Ice Maiden Tavern is Tavern and Gambling Hall is what seems to be the large flat table with enclosed wood sides at the far left corner, and it seems to be 6 feet tall, covered with clear glass. People standing over it stare intently, cheering and clapping. As you can see, the table has a wood maze carved into it with small doors on either side. At the center of the maze are 4 small ramps leading down, and out of the maze are 2 rats that are let loose. Yes, it's rat racing. So you can hear the various people cheering and yelling at each other as they're obviously taking bets on the rat races, which obviously some you can see some winners are getting paid 4-to-1 odds kind of situation, depending on what rat they have betted on. But obviously it is a very noisy location, and you can actually see what looks like a very prominent figure who seems to be not very far. If anyone would like to roll me a perception check as they kind of take it in, as this man kind of goes to stroll across the main area of the floor, and everyone seems to be kind of either parting or, saying hello to him.
I see him.
You're welcome.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
No.
Phil shoves both thumbs into his eyeballs before walking into the room.
I just picture that Arnie is like looking at the gambling like, yeah, I could get fucking rich off that.
I'm trying new gambling.
It's true. This place is like a fucking paradise for you. For those who did pass their perception checks, you do hear people muttering that the man walking around, who's much more regally dressed than even the thugs quickly part ways for, seems to be the owner and proprietor of the Ice Maiden Gambling Hall, Dmitry Markov, an immigrant from Kislev.
Of course it's Dimitri.
He is the one, as you kind of hear people mumbling that obviously they're all talking, he's the one who excavated the entrance to the ruins and operates it on a more kind of gray line sense that obviously doesn't always require writs, but that is by rumor. He is also the owner and proprietor of the Golden Mug fencing for various items that people wish to sell.
Interesting.
obviously, with all that, you're easily able to head over to the more thug-like proprietors, keep watch over the dwarven entrance. You can see what looks like 3 kind of cages that have been purposely set up just in case, so nothing comes barreling out from underneath towards the tavern. But quickly showing the writ, you can see that the thugs just kind of like look at that, roll their eyes as they look at you, and just kind of like almost breathe a sigh of relief, realizing that the shorter party members are not dwarves. But we'll happily let you in. As you start your descent, you can hear one of the thugs, as you get to the third and final gate, he's like, "If you come running up with shit behind you, that door's staying closed."
Yeah. All right.
And so with that,
Thanks, Dad.
with that, obviously, don't worry, Nick. We will leave off there as you start to light your lanterns and descend into
How
Karak.
dark is it down there, Josh?
Basically, from the current stance of where you are, the only light coming from anywhere would be from the Ice Maiden.
Okay, so it's pitch black down there?
Yes.
Haha. That's what you think. I cast light.
Aha!
Witch, burn him.
Burn it!
But yes, that is obviously the entrance. Next time we return, we'll be going into how you enter into the main first floors of the safer sections. Would anyone like to roll me a D100?
Yes.
My light spell did fury damage.
High is bad.
Alrighty. I will be sure.
80 gobos.
80 in each pack.
I didn't know
There
we
are
were gonna be
16
that
packs
other
down
goblins
here.
there.
It's a dwarf pack.
Oh, fuck.
Alright.
Oh, fucking hell.
Go ahead and roll me another D100.
Yes, Dad.
It's a multi-tier list. Alright.
Immediate Hydra.
47 dragon ogres.
The goblins. Yeah, I was about to say, have 47 dragon ogres.
Grapple
Okay.
They're riding on them. They're riding on them.
They're riding the dragon. Oh, God. Oh,
They
no.
only need 47 because gobbers are small, so a lot of them get to pair up.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I'll take note of that. If somebody wants to roll a second D100,
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
No, I already gave a fuck yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
You got first dibs by saying fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's the Australian way.
Excuse me, I had first fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah overrides shotgun.
alrighty, and then give me another D100.
There you go, Phil. That one's yours.
So
Yeah, sure.
many D100s.
Phil, you got
What's happening?
This
there's
is
gonna
for
be-
the goblins' weapons and the dragon oak weapons. Great, they have
Very
great
40
weapons.
consistent.
Good job.
Nah, I'm cool with that.
49 hydras.
With 42 heads each.
And they do 42 fire damage each.
Alrighty.
It also ignores armor, so good luck.
Does it get hit all?
Alright.
Just dodge.
And then I need another 2 D100s.
Oh my god!
Alright, I'll do one.
I'll do one.
Yeah,
69!
nice!
Perfect.
Nice!
4.
Oh. Yeah, that's how many not trap rooms you rolled, Luke.
Oh.
The hydras and the dragon
rooms.
will be 69ing.
No, the dragon ogres will be riding the hydras, and the goblins will be riding the dragon ogre. And there are only 4 rooms out of 100 which don't have dragon ogres riding hydras covered in goblins. brandishing great weapons. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, real good time.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I got that noted down. I'll be sure to have those fully prepared for next time.
I hope we get absolutely shit fucked by the.
I do too.
Like, I hope it's just as bad as what we're saying.
I'm
Like,
glad
it's not
the intro.
Only it's not goblins, it's fucking greenskins.
Hey,
It's
we didn't
80
die.
greenskins riding on fucking dragons.
I'm glad the intro involved the wizard getting his shit kicked.
Yay!
Or was destroyed in the first battle.
And yeah, that was
Luke,
one
how
6.
close were you to death?
Oh, I've got 13 max hit points. So it took me down to 1, but then Josh told me I have toughness, so I was only down to 4.
Which, keep in mind, if you do hit 0, it's not immediately blackout, but that's the point where we start rolling for criticals and damage. Like permanent damage.
That's what you start rolling for in your character.
Very likely, for some cases.
That's right, we still got plenty of fate.
These 3.
Yeah, it says you. I have 2.
Oh, yeah, right. That's still good. That's 2 arms that you're...
Mate, I'm not gonna waste my fate points on a fucking limb.
Actually, I need one more D100.
I'll do it.
I'm going to bed. You boys have fun.
What if you lose
Don't forget to mark down that you got another 100 XP.
Oh. Do we need something to spend that, or can we do that whenever?
You could spend that whenever.
Yeah,
so
I'm doing mine now.
before or after, either one.
Okay, there's not really a reason to hold it then.
Yeah.
I'm increasing my weapon skill because I want to actually hit things.
We put 5 into it, yeah?
How many things
Yeah.
did you hit today?
I hit the goblin, but then he dodged. Like
Oh.
The
he
BS
slipped
again?
out of
I
my
forget.
grip. Ballistic skill.
That's ranged.
Oh,
weapon.
yes. Oh, yes, put 5 into that.
Roll me another D100.
Fuck.
What?
Luke,
When will it
This
end?
one's you.
Ah.
Oh, God! Oh, God! All of their
Luke, you've
range
killed him.
units have 99 ammo.
Alright.
Alright, if we die, I'm blaming Luke.
He rolled a 99!
I've rolled both
Holy
the lowest and the highest.
Exactly.
Two extremes. Yeah, your lowest amount of safer, highest amount of damage.
Alright.
Do we add 5 into the advance?
Yes, 5 into the advance. And that's a cumulative.
Or 1 into the secondary profile.
Yep.
Alright.
And it has to be something where the career number is required?
Yes. Or you can advance. It should list into your core stats.
But hear me out. Can I have 2 magic dice?
Not until your next class.
Fuck. I
Magic,
want to summon greater demons.
magic is restricted for a reason.
I
Well,
thought
go
you
find
asked
an
that
area.
already.
Go find an area saturated with dark magic, so you get to add a bunch of extra rolls to your dice that don't help you at all.
Dark magic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, alright.
Alright.
I will spend my advancement in willpower so I can actually channel, maybe.
No.
Take my
I
turn.
want this- I want
What
to
is your
see, yeah.
willpower?
Ah, I failed.
My
Yeah.
turn. I missed.
Wait, hold on.
I
My
missed.
willpower is 38,
Where is it?
and I'm trained in channeling.
I like that the two of you both rolled 68s.
It's great.
Yeah. Could have got 69, but fine.
Hold on. I'll do it publicly for the gobos. I'll roll my willpower.
Yeah, gobbo.
I failed.
Oh.
If I
Phil,
die,
give
I
us
want
the
to play
double
as a
slash.
I'll give you.
attack.
Let's just say you don't get taxed, you little shit.
No, because I want to do the dwarf voice.
None of us can hit anything. Oh my
I
god.
got
I
2
just want
attacks.
to be a dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah!
My second attack pays off.
Nice.
Yeah, give him the busters. Give him the busters.
This game is so
Yeah,
hard.
Phil with his 2 attacks has it's just such a better chance of hitting it.
Pumbling. Pumbling.
Humble.
Pumbling.
Humbleina.
Hey, shut up.
Okay, hang on. I'll just shield back.
I forgot I spelled it wrong and I was like, fuck it, I'll change it later. I did not
I
change
love
it.
it.
Later.
Also, I have this that I've never used.
What you got?
Eh.
Ooh.